Most people think of New York City as rows of apartment buildings and busy streets. But just 15 minutes from Manhattan, there is a hidden neighborhood of elegant Tudor homes, beautiful gardens, and a timeless charm unlike anywhere else in Queens. Let me take you inside Forest Hills Gardens. Our journey begins here at Station Square, the historic gateway to Forest Hills Gardens. The moment you arrive, it feels like you have stepped into another world. The brick pathways, the charming architecture, and the intimate scale of this square create a beautiful sense of arrival. One of the most common questions I get is, how far is Forest Hills Gardens from Manhattan? The answer is one of the biggest surprises about this neighborhood. From the Long Island Railroad station, right here at Station Square, you can reach Manhattan Penn Station or Grand Central in approximately 15 minutes non-stop, allowing you to enjoy a peaceful residential setting while staying closely connected to the energy of New York City. This unique combination of convenience and charm is one of the reasons Forest Hills Gardens remains one of Queens' most sought-after neighborhoods. As we leave Station Square and walk into Greenway South, you can immediately feel the transition. People often ask me, what does it feel like to live in Forest Hills Gardens? The best answer is to simply take a walk through these streets. The pace slows down, the mature trees create a beautiful canopy overhead, and it becomes easy to forget that you are still in New York City. This neighborhood was designed to offer a sense of beauty, privacy, and community that continues to attract residents more than a century later. Now look at the homes, because this is where Forest Hills Gardens really reveals itself. Many of the houses here are Tudor inspired, and you will recognize the style right away. Steeply pitched roofs, decorative timber, warm brickwork, and storybook windows that look straight out of an English village. But here is what surprises people. Look closely and no two are alike. Some are grand and timber heavy, some are quieter brick, some lean almost storybook. Each one carries its own personality. Buyers often ask me, do all the homes here look the same? The answer is absolutely not, and that is the whole point. One street gives you a grand stately home, the next gives you something smaller and more intimate. Different roof lines, different details, a different character from one property to the next. As a realtor who specializes in Queens, I can tell you that this individuality is exactly what draws buyers in. These are not cookie-cutter houses. They are homes with history, craftsmanship, and a character you simply cannot build today. Before we go further, let me answer the question I get more than almost any other. How did a neighborhood like this end up in the middle of Queens? The story is remarkable. Forest Hills Gardens was not built by a developer trying to make money. It was built as a social experiment. In 1909, the Russell Sage Foundation, a charity founded to improve the way Americans lived, set out to prove that ordinary working families could live in a beautiful, well-planned community close to the city. They hired two of the most important designers in American history, Frederick Law Olmsted Jr., whose father designed Central Park, planned the streets and landscape, and the architect Grosvenor Atterbury designed the homes and the heart of the neighborhood. Their inspiration came from the English Garden City movement, the idea that the community could combine the beauty of the countryside with the convenience of the city. The first lots were sold for around $800. The dream was affordable housing for working families. The irony is that the design was so successful that prices climbed far beyond what those families could pay, and they are still climbing today. As you walk, look closely at the streets themselves, because almost nothing here is an accident. People ask me, why do the streets curve instead of running in a grid like the rest of Queens? That was Olmsted's intention. He rejected the standard city grid completely. The main roads were designed to move traffic, while the smaller streets were made narrow and a bit winding to feel quiet, private, and garden-like. Notice something else. Look up. You will not see a tangle of power lines anywhere. More than 100 years ago, the utility wires here were buried underground, and the service alleys were hidden behind the homes. Every home was positioned to protect light, privacy, and a view down the street. The building materials were standardized for quality, but the details were varied on purpose. That is the secret to how this neighborhood feels. It has harmony without ever feeling repetitive. No two streets feel the same, yet everything belongs together. Here's something almost no one knows when they walk past these homes. Many of the grand homes here were built the traditional way, brick by brick, with stone and half timber. But a special group of these houses was not. The architect, Grosvenor Atterbury, invented a building system that was decades ahead of its time. Certain homes here, including a well-known group of townhomes near Greenway South, were assembled from precast concrete panels. They were manufactured off-site in a factory, trucked in and lifted into place by crane. Think about that. This was an early form of prefabricated construction happening right here in Queens, more than a century ago. Atterbury's system was so innovative that it went on to influence modern architecture in Europe. So when you walk these streets, you're looking at two stories at once. Beautiful traditional craftsmanship and a piece of engineering history hiding in plain sight. When you walk through Forest Hills Gardens, the beauty is not only found in the homes, it's also found in the details. Look at the lampposts, the landscaping, the stonework, and the thoughtful design throughout the neighborhood. Many people ask me, is Forest Hills Gardens a private community? The answer is one of the most unusual arrangements in all of New York City. While it is part of Queens, the streets, sidewalks, and parks here are privately owned and maintained by the residents themselves through an organization called the Forest Hills Gardens Corporation. That corporation has been running this community since 1909. Homeowners here pay an annual fee that maintains the streets and green spaces, and the corporation even reviews exterior changes to homes to protect the historic character. Enforcement here is strict and private. Park without a resident pass and you will hear about it quickly. It sounds tough, but that is exactly why these streets stay so quiet and well kept. This is also something every buyer needs to understand before buying. And it is exactly the kind of detail I walk my clients through. The rules that make this neighborhood beautiful are the same rules you agree to live by when you own a home inside the gardens. The grand building you see here is the Forest Hills Inn, which opened in 1912 as the social heart of the community. Today, it is one of the most unique places to live in Queens, having been beautifully converted into historic co-op apartments. But back then, Grosvenor Atterbury planned this entire square to function as a true town center. He wove together the residential spaces, the shops, the covered arcades, and the train station in that unified storybook Tudor style. More than a century later, it still works exactly as intended. Residents step right out of their lobby and through the arcades to grab a coffee, meeting neighbors in a square that has aged more gracefully than almost anywhere else in New York. And right at the edge of the gardens sits the historic Forest Hills Stadium. It once hosted the US Open, and legends like the Beatles played here. Today, it is part of the West Side Tennis Club, a private club with tennis courts, a pool, and dining. And the stadium still hosts concerts all summer long. Imagine having all of that right in your own backyard. So is Forest Hills Gardens really worth it? The city made this a historic district in 1986, protecting roughly 900 buildings. These homes cannot be torn down and replaced, so the scarcity is permanent. That is a big reason values hold here. And it's not only houses. Remember the buildings at Station Square? Those are pre-war co-ops. So whether you are buying your first home or right-sizing, there is a way into the gardens, because here you are not just buying a house, you're joining a neighborhood you cannot find anywhere else in New York. Thank you for joining me on this walking tour of Forest Hills Gardens, one of the most beautiful and unique neighborhoods in Queens. I'm Claudia Looi, your local Forest Hills Realtor. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, co-op or condo in Forest Hills or anywhere in Queens, or would like to book a one-on-one consultation, call or text me directly at 347-612-2964 or visit claudialooi.com. If you enjoyed this tour, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below. Let me know what neighborhood in Queens you would like me to explore next. I'll see you in the next episode of Living in Queens, New York City.